based on what I see from the video, here's what comes to mind for a single button electromechanical relay system. And after thinking about it, it'd be a lot simpler than I was originally thinking, I think, assuming that your valve actuator operates in the way I'm used to. Basically, so this would be everything in this box is a kind of rough schematic of a 4-pole relay. Kind of like this one here. It's just regular ice cube style relay. It looks something like this. You can see it's got four poles on there, and it goes in a socket like this, so it has easy wire terminals for easy mounting. And you can see, yeah, they're cheap. And this is, I just looked up on Automation Direct because that's where I usually go to, but they're commonly available. So anyway, here's your push button. I assume your push buttons are latching, so when you push them once, they turn on. When you push them again, they turn off. I am basing that on a latching push button. If they're not latching push buttons, you can either add in a separate latching circuit, latching relay, or just use a toggle switch. This is basically designed so when you want it in Recirc mode, this switch will be closed. So here's your 12-volt input source over here. Goes to the switch. Push the switch, it energizes the relay, and I didn't draw all the ground wires, but all this stuff is grounded. So the coil energizes the relay, so all of these switches switch then. For the diverter valve, normally they have a when power goes one direction, it closes and then has a limit switch that stops it. When power goes the other direction, it opens it again. So it's just have it set up as a reverser. So when the relay's not energized, you'd have power here and ground here. When it is energized, then you'd have it would just reverse. So you'd have power there or power on this wire and ground on this wire, and so the valve would operate the opposite way. If it doesn't operate on 12 volts, then instead of hooking this up to 12 volts, you'd hook this up to whatever the 24-volt transformer or whatever operates it. But same idea. And then your pump intake selection valves would just be turned on or off. Solenoids be energized or de-energized, and same with the sink cutoff. When you hit the button, it would cut the sink off, and it would turn these valves to Recirc. And I'm not sure how that's currently wired, but that could be changed as needed, and it could, yeah, that's easy to figure out. And if one of them, basically, if all these valves just need power applied to them to turn them on, then it could all be on one pole. If you need one valve to turn off when it's in Recirc mode, well, then you can just use one of these terminals and reverse it. So the valve is normally powered, and then when the relay switches, it turns the power off. But by using a multi-pole relay like this, you can switch everything. I'm not sure you have the separate remote control to turn the 110-volt relay on, and I'm guessing, I looked up the diverter valve, and it looks like they are more common in 24 volts, so I'm guessing your 110-volt relay probably powers up like a 24-volt power supply for this, and did something else. Oh, the UV purifier, I think it was. So if that's needed, then depending on how you might be able to set up, you might be able to use one of these outputs on this relay to do a dry contact on the 110 volt relay, or add another relay. It should be possible. If the 110 volt relay is only turning 110 volts on and off, then worst case scenario, you add a second relay off of here. I guess I could have drawn it in. Just put another relay off of here. Oops, don't draw well under pressure. That will turn on your 110 volts, and 12 volt coil relay that'll turn on the 110 volts circuit instead of using the remote control one, or you can leave the remote control one. But if you wanted a truly one switch operation, just make that 110 volt relay operate off of here, and then let's see, can't think of anything else. And if you needed more circuits, you needed it more broken down, well, you toss another one of these in. This one that I happen to look at is back ordered, but they're easily, I mean, you can find them on Amazon. Just look for the Ice Cube relay, 4-pole double throw, 12 volt DC coil voltage. They're easy to find. And so that's a basic design. I'm doing it sitting in a hotel room, so I don't have all my colored pins with me to do a more visually appealing drawing. But I think it's this schematic here is a switch, so that's your common. I didn't write it in, but that would be your common terminal. This is your normally closed terminal and your normally open terminal. So when the relay is not energized, this contact is closed to here, and when it's energized, it moves to there. So basically the same. It's just a switch, except it's operated by a solenoid, or by a coil. So anyway, and yeah, I guess I was bored today, and so there's electromechanical control systems 101, and can't think of anything else needed or useful. And these relays and socket bases are really nice for doing stuff like that. So hope you find that interesting and possibly helpful.